Assalamualaikum guys, welcome to our first podcast for Muslim basketball. This is for the Central League and we'll be doing this every week inshallah, going over predictions, announcements, any power rankings, any prediction, anything relating to the league generally.
And I'm your host, Yusuf.
He's the pest you see on our team.
He's a federal agent. He's only here because of his Fed assignment right now. So. Any announcements?
All right, so
you want to say your name, bro?
I'm Ibrahim Sharaf.
Oh, I'm Rayyan Al-Banna.
Commissioner of the league.
Yeah, y'all already knew that though.
God.
And this is Yusuf Sharaf, the...
Everyone knows who I am.
Okay, so announcements. First, I believe we're looking for volunteers. So first of all, this is one of the features that we want to do more of. We want to have podcasts. We want to have recording the games. We have like stat sheets and stuff like that. Or, a bunch of different features that we have in the northern leagues that we also want to have in our league, inshallah, and more as well. So like if anybody has any special talents, any time to volunteer, even if you don't have anything like that, we can kind of assign you, help you guys figure something out to help benefit the league, inshallah. That would be really helpful.
And the league is always trying to get better. So we do have a feedback form that has been sent out. And obviously, if you guys have any ideas that you guys want to bring up, feel free to just put that in the feedback form.
So definitely, yeah, I know a couple people reached out already about recording the games, as you said, Ibrahim. If you want the games recorded, you need to reach out so that way we can have volunteers to actually record the games. So inshallah, if we have enough people reach out, that's definitely a feature we're looking to add.
Yeah, help out whenever you can. It doesn't have to be every week. Just like obviously we'd appreciate it if it was every week, but if you can only help out 1 week here and there, that's also something that we can work with inshallah and do our best with.
We could also figure out something if the team's already on the side, like they're not doing anything better. So like
it's true. We can talk to people.
We can
about
make
that.
it like mandatory. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure something
Yeah.
out. What other announcements do we have? Anything else?
I think we're good.
Okay.
You want to get into the games?
All right, let's
Sounds
do it.
good.
Game
Okay.
1.
So game 1, we had Bir Seb'a versus Rafah, which is my team.
Yo, thank God you're here, actually, because I was trying to figure out how to pronounce this.
I'm definitely butchering his name, bro. I just gotta say confident. And like as a Palestinian, I feel like I'm really kind of putting myself on blast right now. Inshallah, we'll figure it out before the end of the season. I'll get these names.
All right, let's talk about this game real quick.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So I heard it was a close game. I think it was. What was the final score for it?
It was 39-33, Bir Seb'a.
Okay, so 6-point victory by Bir
Let me
Seb'a,
move
right?
this over. So
And
you guys-
this was a one-man show. I mean, from top to bottom, Ayman did everything. And like he's obviously a great player. He's a veteran in Muslim basketball.
Yeah, so his stat line was 21 points. He had 9 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 2 blocks, and 1 turnover.
Making a strong attempt, or what do you call it, run for player of the week.
Yeah, he definitely didn't do so hot on the free throw line, 50%. Not too hot, not
Way
too
to
hot.
nitpick.
5 for 10, that's not very good. However, the rest of your stat line was
So I have a
pristine,
question.
so we'll give you that.
I wasn't there week 1. Did it look as dominating as it looks on the stat sheet? Did it really look like he was doing everything, or is it just kind of?
Ayman, I don't know if I'm sure you've played with Ayman before.
Yeah.
Ayman is like a guard who doesn't realize he's 7 feet tall. This guy tries to actually do everything, and it's hilarious because he also does keep his teammates to a high. He holds his teammates to a high standard as well. So, for example, if his team he's not gonna hold back if his teammate makes a wrong. He's obviously gonna address it then and move on. But mashallah, he's a great player, and he's got 5 rings.
Yeah.
He's Kobe.
Expect nothing less. He has 5 rings, bro.
To the rest of his team's defense, Zayd also didn't show up to this game. He wasn't there at this game, which is, I believe, their team captain as well, who's also a key player on their squad. So definitely has something to do as well with the, I guess, close margin. But Rayyan also, he pretty much runs the offense on the other team, Rafah team, where he pretty much wasn't there either.
Yeah, so both sides were down a little.
Both sides were definitely down. I think the next time these teams see each other, it's definitely going to be interesting. Yusuf, what kind of defense did they play?
I don't know. If you ask me, I say the better team won. But wait, what was your question? Sorry.
What was the defense like?
That's crazy coming from somebody who lost their first game. So
we'll get there when we get there.
That's
We'll get there when we
why.
get there, right?
All right. Defense was. All right, so I'm gonna be completely honest. I only watched, I would say like the last 10 minutes of the second half. But what I was watching, it was a physical game. I mean, Ryan went down in the second half.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Medic went down in the second half.
Medic got hurt. He definitely had a gash on his cheek, and he had to get stitches. Alhamdulillah, he's all right. We were actually planning on seeing if we can give him a call, but it doesn't look like he's available today. So maybe next time for that.
But mashallah, everyone obviously it was no malice or anything.
Yeah.
Medic was their leading scorer. He had 10 points before he ended up leaving in the end. And Omar Abu Arthaya, also one of their key players as well, ended up leaving with Medic to go make sure he was okay.
Yeah, both key players. I mean, Omar does get a lot of rebounds. Whenever we play with him, he's always
kind of surprising that the game was this close. I would say with all three of their members end up leaving at some point in the game. What was the score like before Medic left?
Medic, all right, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every time Medic got the ball, every time they came down the court, Medic got the ball. He was running the offense. He was the main facilitator.
Yeah.
Someone else who actually surprised me with how much they contributed was Sami Shaban. Mashallah.
Commissioner of the league. In what other league would you have Adam Silver suit up and play against top players?
I mean, bro, he's also like. He's pushing like 70. Like he's been in the league for a while, right? I mean, he had his son on the court with him. Mashallah, and his son actually hit 3 threes as well.
Real Bronny LeBron moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, mashallah.
What else we got here?
But definitely some things we could build on. I'm looking forward to being there next week, inshallah, seeing how I can contribute. But can't be too mad. It was a close game.
I mean, also having the recordings is also going to give like the teams a chance to look back on their.
So I was going to say we did mention that we only saw 10 minutes of the second half. Yusuf, I was actually missed the whole first game, so I can only really go off of the stat sheet when I'm seeing the story on here and what Yusuf tells me. But inshallah, hopefully next week we'll have the recordings and we'll be able to review them before the podcast and we'll be able to be fully up to speed on all of the games before we actually talk about them.
Might give you a play of the week or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool if we can do something like that.
So Ayman played well. Who else on Bir Seb'a played well? Who else was a key player?
You're shooting a scraps here. Well,
Baz is always going to do his thing.
Yusuf Abdelaziz actually had a great play at the end where he threw his elbow at Medic to getting the key player out of the game. Yo, he's the main contributor there, if you ask me. No, mashallah.
It was more of like just kind of Ayman running the ball, you would say?
It kind of was.
Who brought it up? Not sure.
Not sure.
Okay, no worries.
I'm not sure if it was one person consistent.
Again, we'll have more in-depth analysis for the next.
I'm
interested to see how they play with Zayd.
Yes, that's going to be interesting.
I'm very interested.
Because Zayd stretches the floor for them. So, if Zayd, he can hit the threes, even sometimes with a hand in his face almost, right? So, at the end of the day, if somebody goes to help out on Ayman down low, which, we've seen, he's their leading scorer, the first instinct that a team would have is to double him down in the paint. If with the team that they have, with Shabazz, with Zayd, they stretch the floor really well to the point where if somebody does go in double, if Ayman has the wherewithal to actually kick it out to one of those players, that's a shot that I'm willing to let my teammate take. And that's a three that, brings somebody else into the conversation for another contributor. And so without Zayd, the way that they performed, it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Pretty good for without Zayd.
Zayd is a main contributor on the team, and he is, I was going to say, I would say the main facilitator. He's always scoring.
He's the one bringing up the ball. He's the one who can feed it to Ayman. He's going to be the one picking the shots out. So
they're kind of like the Bucks with Giannis and
Dame Lillard.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a pretty generous comparison for Zayd there. Dame Lillard.
I mean, we got to see. He played real well.
Dame Lillard though, Dame, bro.
All right. Let's move on. Next
no offense, Zayd. Dame.
So the next game.
Next game's that game.
So this is. All right. I'm gonna try the games in it. Yazur versus Al-Balah.
Yeah. So this game, I ended up catching the second half of this game. I think Yusuf caught the whole game for this one. I saw really good ball movement from the winning team, which was... Oh, boy. Let's get him out of there.
Yeah. We're good. We can keep it running, though. Yeah, we're good.
All right.
All right, this game was an onslaught.
Yeah.
This game... Go ahead.
Great. So, first things I noticed right off the bat, when I came, it was a blowout from the beginning. I I saw a really good ball movement from Yazur, that team. Yazur. They both teams, I would say, didn't like. I didn't see too much of a shooting threat from both teams. I don't know if I'm wrong about it. What would you say?
I would say you are wrong. I forgot.
There was one player on the Yazur team that I felt like
number
was
8.
was shooting
Number
really
8.
well.
He
Yeah,
was
he was
shooting
shooting
very
really
well.
well.
I think he had like 3 threes, just like that I remember
Right.
off the top of my head.
Right.
But yeah, that guy was nice. But also, what was most
But I
effective?
didn't see anything from most of the other players. I didn't really see like a pure shooting threat. And not to say that they didn't score. They did a really
Wait,
good job.
no.
The final score is 54-18.
I disagree. Yazur, the guy number 8 on Yazur, had a hand in his face multiple
That's what
times.
that's what I'm
every
saying.
single time.
I think what I'm saying is that like there was one main player there that was a really good shooter.
Mm.
I think the rest of the team, even if you look at the stat sheet, generally I didn't really see pure shooters besides the one.
There was one guy who I didn't think shot, but he hit his shots. His shot went high, but he made it. He made it multiple times.
Nice big shots.
Yeah.
I would say for Al-Balah, so
Wait, hold on. While we're still on Yazur,
yeah, go ahead.
what was most effective for them was they full court press
Yeah.
for a very
Yes.
long time.
So that's what
And
I was
they
actually
were-
kind of getting to. Yeah, is that like the other team, Al-Balah, they didn't have a primary ball handler, and correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't have a primary ball handler that was able to protect the ball enough for it to like actually get to the other side of the court. So like they didn't have a chance to set their offense, didn't have a chance to actually get that ball moving around, swinging, so they can actually attack the basket. And whenever they did get to the offensive side, it was a one-man show. I think
Most of the time, it was just like literally one shot.
yeah. So
That's
like I think on it, and they also didn't have any offensive rebounds in that same breath. So I think from watching that team, you guys have a really good ball handler in Mahmoud. He's a young guy, and he definitely can be somebody who just chucks up shots, and if he can control himself, right, and can pace the offense, he would be a really good player to trust, bringing up the ball, being able to beat that press, pass out of it, and
You know about Mahmoud?
Mahmoud.
Yeah.
Have another person with you. So if Mahmoud's bringing up the ball, he has another player with him, right, bringing it up with him, able to like help break the press whenever it comes. And he's going to be the one, I would say, the one capable ball handler that I saw on that team that would be able to actually get the offense finally moving.
He's nice. I mean, so I was gonna get into this a little later, but
Yeah.
he showed off that he could shoot a game later. So
for those who don't know, the next game was a scrimmage, but we'll get back into that.
yeah.
So-
I'll get back into some feedback from Mahmoud later, but yeah. It was crazy. What's the name of their team? Al-Balah needed some direction. They needed some one person just to keep them solid and grounded, just to get them like past the half court and actually get an offense moving. That way, everyone else's talents could show.
I would also say that whenever I saw, I'm not sure what the name of this player is. He was number 6 on Al-Balah. When he was in the paint, big guy, he was boxing out on the offensive side. When he was boxing out, changed the game for them, right? So whenever the Al-Balah would bring up the ball, they would shoot, they would miss, and then for the most part, when this guy wasn't in, when number 6 wasn't in, the ball would just go. The other team would get the rebound, and then it would be off to the races.
Yeah, this guy got every rebound.
Yeah, when this guy was
He had
in,
8 boards.
he was boxing out 8 boards,
Nobody
like we
eight.
said. When he was on the court, when he was on the floor, boxing out, getting rebounds, changed the game for them. Changed the game. They contributed.
They out rebounded 32 to 22.
Yeah.
They out rebounded Yazur.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I mean, at that point, also I know you were getting hit down low. He was getting doubled most of the time because he was getting every board.
Yeah.
But you could always look to kick it out.
Yeah, you get another option. That's that you get a second chance at a bucket, right? And I would also say, I know I'm giving a lot of feedback for that here, but it was a blowout. The final score was 54-18. I would say finishing drills, a lot of layups that should have went in. I would say that were just right off of the rim, and
you can't even say it was just because of that though.
The defensive presence was definitely there.
It was. I agree. But also, Al-Balah was trying to get too fancy. I don't know if you guys were watching the whole time. They were doing some behind the back, I don't know, down 40. You don't do behind the back.
Yeah. There was definitely on the winning team. A brother named Abdulaziz. He had 4 blocks on the winning team. We watched them ourselves. It was pretty impressive there.
Yeah.
He was pretty tall. He was. Great defensive presence for them on the court. I had the pleasure of talking to him after the game. Great guy, inshallah.
So you
Oh,
guys,
that being said, also, if you guys see us watching the games, don't be afraid to come up to us, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to get to know you guys so that we can talk about you guys, and it may be good, it may be bad. That's the risk you're gonna have to be willing to take, but
it's also like that much fun when we know everyone. You
that's
know?
right. Yeah. I don't want to call somebody number 6
or number 8. It's awesome.
inshallah. I think that'll kind of happen more as we progress into the league. I think Al-Balah definitely did not show their best performance. They definitely can play better next week by kind of decreasing the turnovers. 11 turnovers. That's that's
pretty
like,
substantial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, versus 5 on the other team. So that's it's.
Shooting 16%. We just got to hit our shots.
Yeah, they did have a lot of mid-ranges,
out-rebounded.
actually.
Yeah.
You were watching, right?
Mid-range shots that just didn't go in.
Yeah, it was. I think this one guy was just cold. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
He looks like he usually hit him. He was confident,
Yeah.
Who knows?
But I definitely think that they could play better than this.
Right.
This is not
No, for
indicative
sure.
of how
Absolutely
this
not.
team
Don't
performs.
underestimate.
Yeah, I think it's also the first week. Everybody's kind of getting to know each other. These players probably have never played with each other before, or maybe they
Some
have.
of them.
Yo, what
I
if
know
they
that
play
one
every
definitely.
day? Like, yo, you just
You're
Maybe
right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe
I'm wrong.
just
It
off.
just didn't look. It didn't. The chemistry
I
didn't look
think
there.
after we enter week 2 and we kind of have 2 data points,
Right.
we can make some
Make
more
better conclusions. Yeah, you're right.
Start seeing some trends.
Yeah, definitely.
But the other team really looked good out there. 54 points, on the first week is never a bad thing. I don't really have too much feedback from them. They moved the ball really well. I guess the only thing that I did say was about the shooting, but I also didn't have too much time that I was watching. So I mean, Yusuf was saying there was that one player that was hitting shots. I'm sorry again, I don't know the names 100% yet, and I will.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Definitely.
But yeah,
Alright,
it was a definitely blowout.
Let's move on to the
Move on
biggest
next.
game of the day, Game 3.
So Game 3 ended up being a forfeit. So if you're not sure, the team was it was Khan Yunis versus Allure. What's his name?
Ajjur.
Ajjur. Okay, so it was Khan Yunis versus Ajjur, and
So we got some reports from the. I'm not sure what team it was, but
which team? So no, it was the other team. So Khan Yunis was the one who forfeited. So Khan Yunis forfeited. Apparently, they had some injuries. Some people were busy. We had one player from their team as a representative come in and let us know about these things. His name was Yazur. And so what we ended up doing to keep things interesting, we had Ajjur play a scrimmage against.
So what
Whoever
actually
was there.
happened?
So they didn't have enough. They had one player that was there. The other players were injured or
Basically
busy.
a
They
bunch
didn't end
of-
up coming. Nobody showed except one.
Basically, a bunch of people just around the court were just like, "Yo, like
Let's run a scrimmage."
we'll play against them just to give their team some practice, like
Yeah.
just have some fun."
Yeah.
I played to warm up. It was
Yeah.
good. It was a good warm up.
Played a full game before our game.
I
right
definitely
next after.
gassed myself out a
It's great.
little too much beforehand.
But yeah, so it was a scrimmage. Ajjur had their full team there. They played as if it was.
And they
against
were
anyone.
granted the win, so they are 1-0.
Yeah, they still.
However, this week was a wake up call. I mean, if a bunch of free agents and like some random people from a gym can go in there and like do pretty well against an organized team, that's gotta be a wake up call for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Who were some standout players on that team?
I would say
their team, there was a guy named Tariq, and I was in the game, so I know
Tariq
this guy
Hamid.
had so much impact.
Tariq Hamid.
Yeah, this guy was nice. Mashallah,
he was the stats for the
he was hustling.
We don't have any
You don't have stats for the.
Oh, right.
Oh.
So sorry. They did ref the game. They did have a time. They timed them as if it was a regular game. Refed, scored. They just didn't take the stats. That's all. For the scrimmage that we're talking about. So we got a chance to take a look at them. I thought that for them, they did have a really good strength at getting offensive rebounds. Is what I found.
Yeah,
It was
this
a
guy
good job.
Tariq was all over it. I mean, we also didn't have an organized team, so we don't have like a regular center or
Right,
whatever. But yeah, if you keep hustling like that, you're bound to get something.
But I believe the scrimmage team did win. So like Yusuf said, it is a wake up call.
Was it close?
I believe
It
so.
was. It was. I think it was like 6 points. I want to say.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty close.
Who was on the scrimmage team?
It was Yusuf shut off Jazib, who was on the team that forfeited. Amar Abu
your cousin.
Ataya. Amar Abu Ataya was
Okay.
playing.
And he was nice too. He was getting a
There
lot
was
of
a player
rebounds.
in the game before. I'm not sure what the brother's name was.
Do you remember if you saw?
If I saw a picture of him,
And the
I
last-
would, but I don't remember. Brother, you played amazing. Wait, bro. I was telling you
and the last
during
player
the
was
game.
Mahmoud. And the last
Jazib,
player
no,
was
Jazib was on too.
I said that.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah,
From,
so-
from Yazur?
No, not from Yazur. Al-Balah, the losing team.
So again, I'm gonna recap the five that
don't
played
really-
on the
yeah, I
skirmish
don't know.
team. It was Yusuf Sharaf. It was Omar Abu Atiyah. It was Mahmoud, the guy that we were just talking about, was a good ball handler, and I think Yusuf has something to say about
Yeah,
him
I was gonna
in a
say.
second. Jazib, and then the fifth player that we regretfully don't know the name of. But
Played
But
well.
we had a sub as well. We had one more.
Okay.
I just don't remember the name. But yeah, so Mahmoud, some feedback for him. He was hitting so many shots, but I feel like the reason why he was doing that was because there was nothing on the line. There was no pressure. He wasn't thinking about it.
Playing more
He
free.
was-
Playing
He
free,
like
yeah.
I told him I was like, I'm handing you buckets on a silver platter. Like I give you the ball, you shoot the ball. Like it is what it is. We're making it. You know.
And I
But
think
yeah.
that's the role he will probably thrive in. But at it with a team without any good ball handlers like that, like he needs to end up being either the primary or secondary ball handler bringing up the ball.
Yeah.
You know.
But you also have to just get a lot more comfortable. Obviously,
Yeah.
like with time, it's gonna happen. It's your first game, but mashallah. And then the guy from Al-Balah. I'm sorry I forgot your name, but mashallah, you keep cutting like the way that you did on that game, and we're good, bro. You're good.
So now on to the last game.
Yep.
The
So
shut up.
this was our
The
game.
shut up
so.
special, as I call it. So you guys have any words? Yusuf, you want to start it off?
Mashallah, I want to give some props out to Subhan on the other team, on the Old Bridge team. Wait, what?
10 points.
Tulkarem.
So yeah, the teams were Akka and Tulkarem, and so we ended up, our team was Akka, we lost by 2 points. So the final score was 48-46. It was a close game throughout the entire game. I think we started off coming out with a lead. We ended up cutting back, and it was back and forth for a while. Then they took a lead for a while, kept it for a while. I believe we came
They hit
really
some very,
close.
very nice shots.
A
Mashallah.
lot of threes that they hit. They didn't really have too many points inside the paint. I would say they had some height down there. They had two players that were 6'5". I think we did a really good job of defending them.
Yeah, they weren't even the ones killing us.
Yeah,
the
but
ones that were killing
they got
us.
a lot of good rebounds. I think
Yeah.
one of them had 11 rebounds. The other one, I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah, a good amount of rebounds for
Yeah,
sure.
we got to talk to
Nine.
Quran.
Yeah, 11 and 9 were the amount of like. So that's 20 rebounds there. And they out rebounded us by about 9 rebounds. So it's a good amount of rebounds that were accounted for on our side. But
Yeah.
I would say our leading performers were Omar Khan and myself.
I'll hype Ibrahim up since
Go ahead, buddy.
since he needed it.
I needed it.
He scored.
The team
he scored,
needed it.
He scored
and I
15
came
points.
through.
He scored 15 points. He bailed me out on a fast break.
To be fair, I hit 2 threes. They only counted 1 free, so I had 16
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
points.
The league's never gonna be enough for you, huh?
Just saying. Just saying.
No, mashallah. Everybody played a good game, especially on the other team. Number 23 hit some very nice shots. Very, very nice shots. I was not expecting that out of you, bro. I saw you playing at the YM League. I saw you playing. Mashallah. Giving you props. Subhan also. Subhan finished in, I believe, 3rd in the YM League for the MVP race, which
That's
is
crazy.
very, very impressive. So watch out for him to come blazing next
I would
week.
say Omar Khan had an off night. He's usually a good shooter. Anyone that really plays at the Sunday school kind of knows that. He shot 7 for 19, which is not a favorable percentage, I would say.
They were all good shots.
Pretty good shots that he took. I would say more. I mean, this is, I guess, internal team kind of talk. It is like more ball movement. I think through running the offense through the guards like Yusuf and Hikmat that
Yeah, no, agreed.
that
bro.
raise. I think we'll
Man.
probably set it up better.
Just-
So what's his
Defending
role? What's his role going to be on your team?
He is definitely one of our leading scorers for sure.
Omar Khan?
Omar Khan
Yeah.
is one of the best
Yeah, bro.
players on our team, and we're definitely going to take his talent and use it for
He's
sure.
most definitely
Okay.
fighting Semi Shaban for the best free agent right now. Them two are neck and neck. They're going
I
crazy.
mean, that's good to hear from my team. Right? So I actually want to talk about somebody who really he didn't show up on the stat sheet, but this brother, Iran, can change a game with just his energy. I've seen it
Bro, you
happen
know what's
with my
crazy?
eyes.
He wasn't talking as much as he normally
No,
does.
stop.
He wasn't, bro. He
Stop.
Dude, I don't know what it was. He was talking to us, but usually, he's trying to like talk to the other team too. Like he's trying to get everyone
This brother
energy
steps
up.
on the court and changes the way people play like I've never seen before.
And he's right. That's why we picked him up for our team. He is a complete game changer, even if it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And so,
All right, I'll say it. He's Draymond.
Draymond Green?
No,
He plays his role so well.
most definitely brings the energy.
If you guys didn't have him, he'd be on my team. Okay, like that's how much I love
If
playing.
you were
with
able
this
to get a
guy.
hold of him.
I know he's a busy man. He's a busy man. Rough shooting night, but I know that he could show up and follow.
Those were also good shots. Like he was wide open. He took them.
Yeah.
Like
We also
we're
had
not gonna fault
players
him on that.
on our side. We also had players that came late. So I believe like we were 5 minutes left in the first half when 3 of our players showed up, and so when they came into the game, they were definitely cold. Usually, players that make their shots. That's nobody's fault except our own.
And that's also not taking anything away from
Right.
Old Bridge team.
Of
They
course
played very, very well.
Yep,
Mashallah.
they deserved the win. They played really well. I'm looking forward to playing them again for sure. I think the one, I guess, feedback
I don't
would
think
have
we're
for
playing
their
them
team-
actually. I think if we do play them again, it would be in
Playoffs.
playoffs. Yeah.
So I think the one feedback I would have for them is to iron out your kinks for whenever we full court pressed you guys. I would say that a lot of the times we ended up coming up with a steal and a bucket, and that's what allowed us to catch up towards the end. So I think the one piece of advice I would have for your team would be that it was a weakness that I think we exploited.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like they have 3 players with points in the double digits. So it looks like they got a really well-rounded team.
Yeah,
They had
Mashallah.
They had some
Oh,
good
is
shooters.
this-
They had some really good
I think-
shooters. They hit some good threes.
I think Talha is the one that hit the threes. Like this guy actually, he wasn't like we didn't actually look at him like a threat, but that was a mistake out of us. Like he actually hit. This is the guy I think with the red shoes. Whoever with the bright red shoes.
I think
orange shoes.
I don't think it was that we didn't see him as a threat. I just think we were kind of spread to the point where like I had to guard one of the 6'5" guys.
Yeah.
So did Kiran or Osman, whichever one of those on the court.
Yeah.
You had to guard
I think-
Tapan
yeah,
whenever you were on the court.
I
So like,
think
the
the
other
person-
2 guys were kind of left to deal with those guys, and so sometimes that could result in some kind of vulnerability. So that's really good for their team because they were able to spread the floor with the amount of talent that they had. They shared the rock to the people that were open, got those shots off. That's really good on their team. They moved the ball well.
I mean, again,
and
they
Talha-
shot 40% from 3.
Yeah, that's
they
pretty
shot-
impressive to shoot
very,
that
very
well.
well.
They shot
from free.
40%.
No. Honestly, we did leave them open sometimes.
That's true.
And Talha always made the right decision. I think he had
Yeah.
how many did he have?
So definitely some
He had
defensive weaknesses on our team
Yeah.
for leaving them open like that. That shouldn't have happened because again, I felt like we locked down the inside really well. There wasn't that many points in the paint. I just think that, and that's something you kind of would have expected with the height that they had, especially over us. Like a tallest guy is 6'2", and I think it's me. Like,
Okay.
me and
All right.
I'm trying to see. No, it doesn't say
It's guy, bro.
yeah, I mean, I'm not the tallest guy in the court. Is my point, right? But for my team, I am, right? So they're all short. They suck. All right,
Oh
that's
my
what I'm trying to
goodness.
say.
Yo,
If you guys play them again, right? You guys run it back.
Yeah,
Who wins the matchup?
I think we run it back. I think.
I mean, you're
I'm
asking
biased.
us.
I'm biased.
Who wins the matchup?
I'm gonna say that
What do
we
you guys
win.
do different? What
What do we do different? I think we iron out our matchup issues. We get our players there on time.
Okay.
All right.
I think one thing that I would do is I would manage my substitution to align with Subhan's.
Yes.
Because I felt like nobody else on the team could have guarded Subhan.
You did a really good job of like defending him,
And
and
I was-
on top
You
of
had
that,
4
I would say.
turnovers. You
Yeah.
forced 4 turnovers.
Yeah,
A
and
couple,
I would
yeah,
I would
couple
say that the perimeter defense, if we were to have that, and also like pressing on the full court, like just periodically in waves, I think would be a good idea.
Just to get them out of their comfort zone.
Get them out of their comfort zone. When we were up in their face, it wasn't comfortable for them, and we were able to tell. So I guess that's feedback for their team as well to be able to come up against that.
That being said, Subhan still got buckets.
It's true.
Still got 10 points. And
They sure did.
So both of
You
these
earned
teams
it,
look
you know?
scary.
Yeah, both teams were really good. I felt like both teams lived up to the name of like Muslim basketball. It was a competitive game. It ended up a 2-point win for Tulkarem. So it wasn't a comfortable win by any means.
honestly, I feel like it feels more like a 5-point loss.
Yeah, because so at the very end, Omar Khan did hit a 3-pointer, and that made it a 2-point. So I guess you're right.
More accurately, it feels like a
But it did. Everybody felt the pressure. For sure, both sides felt the pressure. We wanted to catch up and win that game. They felt like we were always within reach, so it was never like, oh, they're done, it's over.
Never a blowout.
So yeah, I think
Okay.
that's what I got to say about that team.
We forgot to make an announcement about
Right.
showing up on time.
Right.
So I think we need to kind of emphasize that being punctual and actually coming early is so important because we need to get these games started on time just so that we can make sure that we fit all the games in our schedule. and make sure that we don't forfeit any more games. I know one team had some trouble with attendance, and I understand that, but we don't want it to ever be a team shows up late, so then they forfeit. So inshallah, can we please, or we should really make an effort to show up at least 15 to 20 minutes before the scheduled game time.
Absolutely, and just be aware that everybody has games at 2 o'clock. So even if it might not be your team playing at 2 o'clock, one day you will be, and then you'll be at the mercy of every prior game that happens.
Yeah, so there were some delays, and what ended up happening was our game, even though the other games had 20-minute halves, our game ended up having 16-minute halves. That can happen to anybody who plays that 2 o'clock game if everybody doesn't show up on time or early.
And that's
right?
actually
The more we delay the games, the more it's going to affect other teams.
I would say actually that's a testament to how strong both of these teams are. Because with 8 less minutes, we were able to score more than most other teams in their entire games.
It's true.
So both these teams are very offensively packed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Except for Yusuf Shah.
Except me, bro. You'll see me on the... Bro, I was so gas guarding somehow.
There was definitely one play in particular that I would like to shout out where Yusuf got a beautiful steal on Safanu. This is a key moment in the game, right?
Okay.
Takes the steal, takes it down the court, has the open layup, and he knows behind him trailing him is one of the 6'5" brothers. I believe his name was Aaron. Aaron was behind him, right? So he's going up for the layup. And I believe the nerves got to him because Aaron was definitely still farther from him, and he missed the layup. He got the rebound, kicked it out to me, and I bailed him out with the best 3 of his life, right? And then shortly after, their team comes back down the court. Let me finish the recap here, right?
So wild.
Shortly after, their team gets the inbound, they go in, and they hit another 3, which erases that 3-point comeback that we just had. About to come. You don't make your own conclusions off of that. I just wanted to put that out there.
He's got to call you big bro until next game.
I just wanted to put that out there. That's all.
Yeah,
that is wild. All right.
Okay,
so
I think that's everything we have. Let's look at some of the top performers and predictions.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, let's
do
do
predictions for next week. Hold
on. Before we
that's all we have
move
for
on from this week. Before we move on from this week, let's give out some awards. Player of the week.
Yeah. So we had Player Week for our league. I believe was Ayman Abdul Fattah, right?
Amen. Amen.
Like we said before, he had 21 points, 9 rebounds, a couple blocks. Played a really good game. He's been in Muslim basketball for quite a while now. Like we said, he has 5 championships.
Yeah, you don't even recognize his profile picture when you pull up his thing. He looks so different.
Bro, 14 years, man.
Yeah,
14 years. Mashallah.
Is that 14 seasons? You mean? Or
14
seasons. Okay.
No. 14 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
From 2009. Yeah, you're right.
And this guy's a unit, 6'3", 200 pounds.
He's not 6'3".
He's not 6'3".
6'3", Ayman.
Wait, yo, by the way.
Ayman is like 6'9", 6'10".
By the way, on Muslim basketball, there's no verification for how tall you are.
Okay.
You want to know how I know? I'm 5'11" on Muslim basketball.
Hey, man.
Almost.
Yeah, 26 MBR, played very well. Or 26, I guess, over the span of his career.
Yeah.
So, mashallah. And then best free agent?
I would say this week we can say it's Omar, right? He played really well. He was 16 points on our squad as well. And he didn't shoot super efficiently in the first game, but
he got his buckets.
He got his buckets. He played really well, took some good shots. Definitely a good addition to our team. We need him, for sure.
And if there are any other weekly awards that you guys think we should just let us know.
Breakout player of the week.
Breakout player.
It's got to be Sam. It's got to be Sam.
I think so too. I was not expecting.
Nobody was seeing that coming.
He had a lot of impact,
especially when you're 75 years old.
Oh my god!
Yeah. To be able to perform at that level,
he's violent.
To be able to perform at that level at that age is impressive, to say the least. Especially since I have a father of my own. Very good guy, cares for me.
He grew up with Sammy,
but can't shoot a basketball. And so,
violent.
And so, to be,
this is ridiculous, man. Slandering your
I think Sammy Chavez is the breakout player of the week, commissioner or ex-commissioner, I guess, of the league. Was he still commissioner?
I think he's on the board. I think he's less hands-on, but he's definitely a big part of the league.
Okay.
And we're so happy to have him.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at next week.
Okay, next week.
You guys are playing Zayd's team
So
with
Ayman's team, yeah.
Ayman.
So
Ooh.
we're biased,
Right.
but you know what? Let's let you make the prediction for that team, since
Well,
we're involved. In the
Okay,
game.
yeah, but he also he only has the stat sheet. He didn't watch the first week,
Right.
Yeah.
so he has a stat sheet.
So yeah,
What-
take this with a grain of salt. You can always say
Okay.
this about the stat
Zayd
sheet.
will be there.
Yeah.
You guys will have your whole team. I think you're going to do a great job of guarding Zayd.
Okay,
I think you guys. I think Zayd though is scary if he gets hot.
he is very scary.
I think
He's
if
a
you
very
let
player.
this man shoot, he can knock down 3-4 in a row
Yeah.
and put you guys in trouble.
He's also a momentum player too. Like
Very
yeah,
much.
very very much a momentum player. So if we start off hot, we'll be alright.
They I think don't play as well from behind. I think you guys play better from behind. So as long as you don't let them, get an early lead, you guys should be good.
So you think we'll take the win on that?
I think if you guys can kind of get hot early and not let them get a lead. If they get a lead,
Yeah,
It's
this
gonna
is
be
a
a problem.
politician, bro. Dodging the question.
that's what I think. I think if you guys get hot
Who do
early,
you think will win this week? Pick one.
I don't, because both teams are talented.
Here we go.
So
Here we go.
Way.
I know you don't want to
If I
offend anyone.
have to
pick
pick
one
a team,
Alright, yo, I want Amen coming out full steam ahead. I want to see
this is
the
gonna be a
best
close
of
game.
what this.
This is gonna be
I
a close
want
game.
to see Amen do everything. I think
Who's
we're gonna
guarding
wipe the
Amen?
floor with
Who's
you
guarding
guys.
Amen? Who's guarding Amen on your team?
Bro, don't even worry about that. We're not gonna give up the defensive scheme.
I know, but you're asking me. I can't.
You have to make a prediction just based
Okay.
off the information you know. Choose one.
Considering that my team was not very, very heavily, like all of our players were pretty much missing, and we came pretty close, and you guys kind of played really well. I'm gonna go with your team, but I think it'll be a very close game.
Okay.
And I'm interested to see
You hear that,
to see
Amen?
how that game goes. It's gonna be very close.
Someone link Amen in the comments or something.
It could go either way though.
All right, let's look at the next
Let's see if
game.
we can
So the
make
next
it.
game is 11:20. Khan Yunis versus Tulkarem. So Khan Yunis, hopefully they show up this week. If they do, we'll.
But
be
no
able
matter
to-
what, I don't even think Omar Khattak is playing. Omar Khattak is a very good player, mashallah. So he's one of the people with a hand injury.
How long is he out for? Do you know?
I'm not sure how long he's out.
Is it a serious injury?
If I'm being honest with you, all I have is the information that Jazib gave me. But it was a wrist injury, so I don't think he's going to be out for too long.
Okay, hopefully
but
not.
hopefully, inshallah, in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, sounds good.
But definitely, they're going to have to watch
They're
out
going to be
for
against the team that we just played against last week. So they're going
So
to be
this
against.
is a team we didn't get to see much.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which is
I know some of
Khan
these.
Yunis.
I know some of these players. I mean,
Jazib.
Jazib is very, very good. Bilal Mughal played in the YM League as well. Very, very good player. Omar Osmani, he's a very good player as well. You definitely have to watch out for him. He's probably going to be the person that I would guard if I were playing this team.
Okay.
He's very good.
He's their.
He's the guy. He's the guy.
All right.
Okay.
He ran his team in the YM.
I think based off of what we saw, obviously I haven't seen Khan Yunis, that team. I've seen Jazib play on the scrimmage. It's the only experience I really know for their team. I think
This guy's
I
a
would,
great trainer.
I would pick Tulkarem as the team that would win. They have the height. They move the ball well. They can shoot.
Which one's
They showed us
Tulkarem?
that this week. This is the team that we lost against this week.
Oh yeah, they're.
So
yeah.
I think my prediction for it is that Tulkarem will take that win. I think it'll be close. If the players show out and they don't have the injury and whatnot, I think it'll be close. It can
Oldbridge
go-
is taking this one.
But
Okay.
that's my prediction for that.
Okay, interesting. I'm also interested to watch that game as well.
Yo, we have a chance to go completely correct in predictions.
Yeah.
Like we have
Oh,
a
yeah,
chance
we-
to predict every single game.
We should.
Keep track of
Yeah,
our
keep
predictions.
track
Yeah,
of our
absolutely.
predictions.
Let's see.
Absolutely.
Should we have different predictions then?
Alright, so-
I don't
yeah, write them
I don't
down.
think we have.
So
We'll do that. Let's start that next week. We'll each have our own predictions for it.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
game one will say.
I mean, I
Because
definitely
we don't know.
We have the same predictions right now anyway.
Yeah,
so
we haven't seen really too many players
Yeah.
play yet for
Yeah.
sure, so we can't have too many different predictions. But I guess we'll see.
So let's look at this third game
yeah. So this is Ryan's team. So Rafah
versus
versus
Al-Balah.
Al-Balah.
Al-Balah is the team that got blown out.
They're the
It
team
is.
that
They have Mahmoud.
Yeah.
So I would say, based off of what we've seen, right, I can't really speak to as if they're going to take our advice or make any changes. Based off of what we would see, I would say that Ryan's team is going to win. So this is Rafah. I think that they played a good game against one of the best teams in the league without their main players. And next week they should be at full strength. inshallah, that Maddox feeling all right. Ryan shows up to the game and isn't sleeping at home.
Oh my God!
So that's what I would say. I think Rafah is going to take that win. I think that's going to be a more definitive win, unless the other team makes some changes.
I think that the other. No.
Say it.
I still have his team winning.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a very close game because I feel like the only reason it was a blowout was because the other team was so good. I feel like they
were against the
yes,
first week.
yes. I feel like was it Yazur? Yazur.
They're playing in the last game.
Yazur is one of the best teams in the league right now, and they put the numbers up to prove it.
They're against us? No. We've already talked about ours. Okay.
Did you guys play them?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We're playing them later. So this week they are against. Go back. This week it's going to be Yazur versus Ajjur, and Ajjur is
the team that we played in the scrimmage.
Right. Okay. So this is going to be their first real game. They played against the scrimmage team, which obviously take that with a grain of salt. We don't know how they're going to really come out
based on what we've seen.
Based off what we've seen, I think Yazur takes the win for that. They played really well together. They scored the highest points out of any team in the league. Granted, they did have 20 minutes, like the full time. I think if we were to scale up our game for that, we would have more points than that.
Yeah, at least at 70. Right?
Yeah, I mean something like 60. I would say like 8 more minutes. 8 more minutes is pretty significant.
I would at least have 10 more points.
But
at least maybe he would have had like 40 more, like in those 8.
Anyway, so I think we would say Yazur probably takes the win on that one.
But we are looking for someone to help us gauge how good this team Yazur is.
So, Ajjur, we're counting on you to give us a breakout game. Prove us wrong. We want you guys to win. We want you guys to show us why
we want you to
we're
win.
not. Okay,
we're not.
Show us why we're counting you out.
Yeah. Prove us wrong.
We
want to be proven wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do want 100% predictions.
I guess don't show us why we shouldn't count you out. Sorry.
Gotcha.
All
and
right.
again, for the rest of the podcast, we're not even going to ask me what my predictions are for my team because we're going to be 7-1.
Oh yeah, 7-1, huh? That's a pretty tall order there.
7-1.
You haven't played us yet. I think you played us twice.
Oh, you play us twice?
So we get 2 free wins right there.
Poor guy.
So we're 2-1 already before we even start. We're winning next
man.
week. That's 3-1.
Man, I've been guarding Ryan since I was 5 years old.
Bro, I came out the womb and all I saw was Yusuf Shutup's hand in my face.
And a hand on the hip.
To be fair, Ryan, when we started playing with him in the Sunday school, was garbage. He was so bad. To be fair, let me finish. He was really bad. He took so many shots, and he would miss a lot of them, but he would still keep taking them. And honestly, to be fair, a lot of us didn't want him on our team. But pretty recently, I would say within the past 5 years, Ryan put his work in the gym. Got big, so he got stronger, got his height growth spurt, and he's been in the gym working on his skill. Now he's one of the breakout players in the league, one of the best players, I would say, in our league this year. Definitely look to see him play. Definitely going to be respecting him on the defensive end, but I will be shutting him down when we're playing together.
And that's why we were impressed with your team.
Competition, and thank you for the kind words.
And that's why we were very impressed with your team, how they performed without you, which was really awesome, the way Medic ran it.
Mm-hmm.
Ran the team.
Super excited for next week, inshallah. Again, volunteers, show up early, and let's have a great week.
Yeah, let's have a great season. After that, I'm happy to do this, inshallah. And please come and introduce yourselves to us. We'd love to get to know your names. Love to get to see you guys play, and we'd love to talk about your games. Hopefully in a more favorable way, right? We're gonna talk a little bit of trash here. We're gonna be, we're gonna try to make this as entertaining as possible and try to make good predictions and whatnot. But this can't be done without you guys. So please help us volunteer. Please, come hang out with us, talk to us, and
absolutely. Now, remember, this is your league. Like, we can make whatever we want out of this. We just have to see the initiative. We have to actually try and make this league better. And I'm really excited to see what this league could be.
Absolutely.
All right, with that, I think we're going to sign off here.